Hey folks, JD here, and today we've got this. This is the XK Falcon. It's a folding quadcopter. Looks really quite nice. Look at this. It really does look lovely. Obviously has a camera on the front here. A nice little camera which can be angled slightly. Not a lot of movement in that, like we see with a lot of larger folding quadcopters at least. Now let's open out these arms. So there's no switches with these to hold down. All you've got to do is just pull out the arms, and look at that. That is a sizable quadcopter. That is lovely. So one thing to make very clear from the start, when you take this out, this does allow you to record video, stream it, obviously relay it back down to your smartphone, but you do have to have inside there a little SD card. If you don't have an SD card, the video will not record. So obviously just ensure you have one set up there, and also ensure that when you do come down to land, you don't just turn off your transmitter, you do stop recording as well. Otherwise you may lose the video as it won't have written back to the SD card yet. This has been on charge for about an hour and a half. This can be flown from the transmitter or from your smartphone app as well, so we'll do a little bit of that today to see how we get on with that. Now everything has already been pre-assembled on this. I literally didn't have to do anything when I took it out of the box, but what I have done through for the pre-flight checks, I have gone through, made sure all the propellers are fine, there's no cracks, because if you have a crack in any propeller, do not fly. I have also made sure that all the screws underneath here are, as we said, thumb tight, and then a little quarter just to make sure that everything is okay, so that obviously you don't want to hear any plastic cracking or anything like that. Make sure that the battery is properly installed, and that is all looking good. So I think with that we can have a little look at the transmitter that we're going to be controlling this with today. So here it is. Now this transmitter looks a little bit unique, but at the same time still holding the same features and functions that we have with a lot of other quadcopters. So obviously when you come to put on the FPV boom, it's a little bit not complicated, but a little bit fiddly to say the least. So obviously it fits in and then clips into the bottom here, and then you've got another clip which clips into the back here as well. Now I like these controllers that obviously have a nice little picture on there just to show you exactly what everything does. So let's just go through the buttons again. So we have automatic takeoff and automatic landing, record video, take photo, and return to home. We've got our trim buttons here as well, emergency stop, on button, as well as then on the top of the quadcopter as well, on the two shoulder buttons, we have speed increase, LEDs, headless mode, and flip button as well, so you can do 3D flips. So that's the transmitter. So I think we're in a good position now where we can take it up. So there we are, folks. Let's take him up. Let's flip the on button. Oh, right, perfect. Let's get my smartphone out as well at this point, because I want to be able to connect to the Wi-Fi. There you go. So Wi-Fi pops up. It's just a standard open network, so we can just connect to that without any issues. And then once we've done that, we should, there we go, be able to open up the Wi-Fi UFO app. Now there is a QR code for this in the manual. Right, so what I'm going to do from the start is all I'm going to control from this for the minute is just the recording of video. So I'm just going to start the video recording, so you'll see a little red flashing circle there, just to let you know the video is recording. So the rest I'm going to control via the transmitter. So power on the transmitter, single 1 up and 1 down action, just to standard, just to bind the quadcopter. As you can see now, all LEDs are solid, same as on the transmitter. With this particular quadcopter, what you have to do is unlock the motors. What I'm going to do first is just calibrate the gyros, just by putting both of the analog sticks into each other, and then I'm going to unlock the motors by pulling them both out. Now you'll hear the motors spin up. Now we're unlocked, now we're good to go. So with them unlocked, push up on our auto takeoff, and that's it, we're up. We're going, we're steady. Right, okay, let's have a little look and see. So we got a little breeze coming from behind me today. Not much, but all in all, that seems to be holding really quite well. Okay, ooh, that was a little bit... Okay, so let me just tell you exactly what happened there. Normally with any sort of quadcopter and any sort of transmitter, you just slightly push up on the buttons and eventually the quadcopter just goes. But this one seems to have quite a way to go on the thumbsticks until it actually responds. Not saying that's a bad thing, it's just something I wasn't expecting. So I thought I'd just let you guys know should you guys be wanting to get this one and you push forward and it takes a while to respond, it's just because I think it only responds when it gets 3/4 the way up to the top of the transmitter, and then it goes forward. But it's looking really nice in the air. The clear landing sprigs are really nice as well. They make the LED colours really pop, because the LEDs, when I was looking at them, don't really look too bright. Green at the front, blue at the back. We should be getting quite a lot of good video. From the relay, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty standard, without any issues there at all. Looks a little bit slow now and again, but it seems to be okay. From a transmitter point of view though, it seems to be absolutely perfect. It's not giving me any sort of problems in controlling or anything at all. So what I'll bring it in, stop her around about here, let's take her up a little bit and let's try a couple of 3D flips. So then, let's take her up to an altitude and then flip her backwards, flip her forwards maybe. Are you going to let me do that? No? Okay. Now let's take her up again and let's bring her back to me a little bit, take her up and let's flip her forwards. Oh wow, she does an half raise in altitude as well before she flips. But all in all, that seems pretty good. Right, what I'll do as well is try this automatic landing function. We saw the automatic takeoff, so automatic landing is the same button as the takeoff. Bam, no problem at all. Let's stop the video recording there. That seems to be pretty good, seems to be very stable. It came down, the front lifted a little bit as it landed. But let's check out these sprigs. Now all they are is just a little bit of plastic on the underneath. And they seem to be absolutely fine, no issues at all. Okay, let's take her off again. For this we are going to have to unlock the motors again. And then take off. There we go. So, right. Let's increase the speed this time. So let's speed mode 2. Oh, now that's a lot more responsive from the transmitter. A lot more responsive. You can see the front of the quadcopter has dipped a lot. She is cutting through this air. Now the breeze we've got today, as I say, is coming from behind me. Let's increase to speed mode 3. Wow. That came from nowhere. Oh, speed mode 3 is a little bit twitchy. So, and what I mean by that is if you're going straight ahead and then you turn, she flicks herself a little bit to the right. Oh, I don't like that. So let me show you, see if I can get a little bit closer and show you what I mean. So, we're going to bring her back. Oh, very twitchy. And then I'm going to turn her and bring her back to me. See her? She flicks up to the left. Oh. God. Okay, let's try it again. Take her down, turn her around, and then bring her back to me, and she flicks up again. Okay, let's take her down to speed mode 1. Because speed mode 1, perfect. Speed mode 2, again, perfect. Speed mode, yeah, there we are, speed mode 2, no problem. It seems to be in speed mode 3 that the aircraft is so light that with the speed that it's generating and the airflow, that when it turns around, it's actually moving the quadcopter away from where it's standing, which is a little bit disturbing because it means for that ever so small fraction of a couple of seconds, I didn't have control, which obviously isn't great when you come to flying quads. Right, okay, so what we're going to do now, before we run out of battery, is we are going to land it, and then I'm going to switch over to transmitter, switch the transmitter over to my smartphone. So bring her back to me a little bit. Come on, dude. Back you come. And a bit further. And let's land you. So there we go. Lands no problem. Okay, so it's at this stage that I've just turned on the analog sticks on the transmitter on the smartphone app, and I've also applied the altitude hold as well. Now, so when I applied the altitude hold, you'll notice that two little buttons appear, takeoff and landing as well. So that's important. If you can't find the auto takeoff, then it's just there when you open up when you turn on altitude hold. So I'm going to keep her at 30% speed mode 1. I'm going to try now and just unlock the motors. I'm going to use the same principle. Nope, same principle doesn't work. Okay, so now we should just be able to push up, perhaps. Yep, and push up unlocks the motors, rather than, you've got to be quick though, rather than pulling the two analog sticks either side. So pulling up and then raising slightly, and then that's it. Oh, look at that! Beautiful. Lovely, really nice. Okay, so take her off a little bit. As I say, because of that flick that she does in speed mode 3, I'm not going to be moving her into speed mode 3 at all during the transmitter test, during the smartphone app test. But I'm like, oh no, is that battery already? Well, I say already, we've done a hell of a lot with this today. Okay, that's a little bit annoying, but still, we're flying it with the transmitter. It flies without any issues so far. It's actually a lot more responsive from the smartphone app than it is to begin with, that I found from the transmitter. So yeah, that in itself is quite a revelation. Oh, she is nice though. In speed mode 1 and speed mode 2, she's beautiful. Speed mode 3, just take care when you come to moving her around, because she is a little bit light and she will flick unduly. Right, I tell you what I'll do is I'll take this back around one last time. So over to me, down to the bottom, and then back around, and then I'll land her using the landing button, which I love. This automatic landing and automatic takeoff stuff, it's brilliant. So at this point, look how stable she is actually. Look at that. That is incredible. Okay, she's floating towards me a little bit, as you're going to get. It is altitude hold, it's not GPS lock, but still, that's really nice. And there we are. Let's land her. Let's take her down. And she lands without any issue. She's actually a lot better using the smartphone app than she is using her transmitter. But on that note, folks, let's get a verdict. I got to be honest, from an aesthetics point of view, she looks beautiful. She really does, and this glossy finish on her as well, the white and black, really does suit her. Looks really nice. Design, very, very good, very aerodynamic. Dips at the front, goes up at the back. Little kick there as well, just to deflect the breeze, the wind. It looks very good. Now, as for performance, so taking off, no problem at all. Took off, obviously you have to unlock the motors first, so calibrate the gyro, unlock the motors, and then take off. Once you've taken off, she just glides through the air. Speed mode 1, no problem. Speed mode 2, a little bit quicker. Speed mode 3, now this is where there was one main concern. So basically, let me show you, if you couldn't see very well in the video. So basically what was happening is I was flying, and then I went to turn her, and then because of the fact that she's not very heavy, and the fact that she's going incredibly quick, when I turned her around and when I finally then pulled her forward towards me, she kicked up. Now it's not that much of a kick. She doesn't like wallow too far, but she still does move a little bit too much when she does turn around there. So what I did then is just keep her in speed mode 1 and keep her in speed mode 2. I found that then to be a lot better, and her flying to be a lot better as well. Now from a transmitter, the transmitter is really nice. Transmitter fits nicely in your hand. It works really nice. There isn't any issue with that, other than what I found a little bit strange was when I was moving her, I had to get up to almost 3/4 before she'd actually move forward in speed mode 1. But I got used to that really quickly. I think I'm just used to very responsive transmitters, and this one isn't as responsive. As for range and distance, no problem. Didn't feel as if the quadcopter was in any way in danger. We've recorded a little bit of video as well, so hopefully that has turned out well. Obviously don't forget to stop the recording of the video before you turn off your quadcopter. Obviously put an SD card in there as well when you want to record, as that is needed. So we then tried her on the smartphone app, and the smartphone app is very good. I found her actually to be a lot more responsive using the smartphone app. As to unlock the motors and to fly her, then all I had to do was push the up button, and then she flew without any issues whatsoever. There was no holding the transmitter at certain angles to unlock the motors. When you do unlock the motors, you do have a finite time to take her up, otherwise the motors just turn themselves off again and you have to unlock them from scratch. So that being said, I'm really quite impressed with this guy. I didn't like how he flicked up in speed mode 3, so obviously I'm not going to mark him as high as I was going to, but overall I didn't feel as if the flight was dangerous. I didn't feel as if the flight was in any way harboured. I felt as if the quadcopter was really safe. Automatic takeoff and landing was just a breeze. 3D flips, no problem, as well as all 3 speed modes were good, apart from, as I say, speed mode 3, and when it flicks up to the left and right when you try to bring it back to you. So there we are, folks. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.